Hope Center provides resources for children and families to build happy, healthy, successful lives. Our clear mission is to break the cycle of poverty by transforming lives through spiritual guidance, food distribution, educational programs, health services, and job training, giving people significance and the opportunity to grow and become self-sufficient.
We don't give handouts at the center. We provide a hand up. Because what happens, those individuals who come to the Hope Center, they're transformed.
And that's what it's all about, is when we see a transformed life, a changed life, and becoming a productive life again. And that's what brings our joy. So that's what we're all about here.
The Hope Center fights hunger and feeds hope to over 100,000 people in DFW each year. And we're growing.
Somewhere along the line, we believe that we'll come to a place where we can handle 200 or 300,000 people.
1 out of 4 children in DFW suffer from hunger, and more than 640,000 people are living in poverty. The Hope Center fights hunger by distributing $3.5 million worth of food throughout the Metroplex every year.
Because it's such a joy to give food away to people and to see the expressions on their face when they receive it, and to know that we give away such an abundance of food. We actually give away enough for our families, not only to feed themselves, but to have enough to give to other people.
The Hope Center gives away hundreds of quality clothing items each week to families in need.
We want to change in the lives of people. We don't just feed them every week. And so the Lord birthed the School of Hope in my heart. He said, teach them so they can get better jobs.
The School of Hope offers classes in GED preparation, keyboarding 101, forklift and scissor lift OSHA certification, and Microsoft Office. These high-quality classes are offered at a very low cost, and most students qualify for scholarships. We follow through and help people get ready to enter or re-enter the workforce by teaching them how to write a resume, search for a new job, and properly interview.
Through the preaching that I got, the teaching that I got from Pastor Orlando, I was able I had built up the hope and the courage to just get out there and say, my God owns this world. There's a job out here for me. And I found a job within that week.
The Hope Dental Clinic serves people and children with severe dental issues and who are in pain.
You know, it's a blessing to be a part of this. You know, and I reach out to people that are looking at this to you know, just come check us out and see what we do. You know, just make your own judgment. You know, just see what we do, and you'll see what happens. You know, from day in, day out.
It's hard to work here at times because you see so much brokenness, but you also see restoration.
We can be your arms and your legs to do those things that God would have you to do if it was available for you to do yourself.
The Hope Center invites you to support this critical, loving mission through your prayers, your talents, and your financial support.
So we need money for the growth that's coming, the leadership that we're going to have, the supervisors, the managers. All those folks are going to need to have an income, and we've got to be able to pay them well because the work is so incredibly important.
We just need everybody to just come together and just say, we're not going to let another child go hungry, not another day, not another hour. We're going to feed everybody that we can feed.
So we know that God put us here for a reason. It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with God wanting to show himself God and how he loves the people. And we just let him love the people through us. That's the bottom line.
Help us fight hunger and feed hope. Thank you for your generosity.
wash away all things. We're all just people.
Each and every individual is a person with dignity.
And if we can bring just a little bit of hope to people, to let people know that, hey, everything's gonna be all right, that it's not just a food issue. It's not just about meeting a need of food. We want to be a positive impact in changing the community.
With the skills and the services that the Hope Center provides to the community would be without a way for a mother who's lost her family or husband or job.
It educates. It educates the marginal. It gets them GEDs. They get diplomas. They're taught job skills. This allows them to get jobs in the community that they wouldn't otherwise have. And then they're able to feed others that they're connected with. So they reach out. So our touching them translates into the thousands of people actually ultimately touched by the goodness of the Hope Center.
I used to be in a group, a professional singing group in the early 90s, or in the 90s, called Color Me Bad. We had a lot of success, had Grammy nominations, won American Music Awards, Soul Train Awards, traveled all around the world. But I was empty on the inside, and God directed me straight to the Hope Center. I helped out with various aspects of their music department as well as with the kids. Our goal was to use music, to use keyboard, teaching the kids keyboard to show them how they play by ear, and we teach them individual parts and how their individual part together will make an incredible sound. And they can take that actual, that same theory along with life, learning togetherness. But we did a lot of different things. We ended up, it evolved into vocals, it evolved into us giving life lessons as well. It's just amazing because you see them come in one particular way. And a lot of these kids, their parents are either on drugs or have died in the streets. They've had a hard life, not a lot of hope. And what we do is we try to give them a place of safety. This place is safe for you. And we try to give them hope and affirmation. And when we see them come in one particular way, and then you see them just open up to you, begin to trust you, it's just so amazing.
We found that people don't become homeless because of the lack of material things, jobs, food, cars. It's not about that. It's the lack of the significance of their self that is dropped, and that's where a person becomes detached from society. Once they're able to take care of their self, then we say that we don't just give them food. We give them food for themselves and their neighbors and their friends. And so by giving them food and then them giving food, they regain their significance of life. It's the self-esteem and the significance of self.
Fight hunger and feed hope. You see, the centerpiece is hope. It begins with hope. It ends with hope.
Contact the Hope Center today and find out how volunteering your time, financial support, or corporate resources can change lives and bring hope to the people and the families in our community. As you start your day with a hot cup of coffee and begin to think about what to eat, you don't remember a time when you wondered if you would eat, though we know each day there are many that do. You might feel it is not your responsibility to feed the hungry, but what would happen if it stopped being a responsibility and started being compassion? The Fort Worth Hope Center and Central Dallas Ministries have joined together to restore the hope, faith and significance to the people and families in our community.
I got a call one night when a tornado was blowing in.
And Pastor Otis in Orlando, they said,
We need to do something because there's going to be a lot of people without electricity, a lot of people without not the ability to cook.
we got on the phone, and all of a sudden these different restaurants started coming. And I remember our first meal came in, it was from Chick-fil-A, and it was 800 sandwiches.
And the next thing you knew, we were a command center for the tornado victims and the police department, and we found ourselves feeding the neighborhood.
And the people began to see that they were loved by other people in the community. After the day was over, if we had any food left over, we got in a flatbed trailer actually, put all the food on there, and we'd drive slowly up and down the streets and go door to door and hand the food out to some people that couldn't come. And that's when we really began to meet the people, because we were out in the streets, going door to door, talking to them. And it was really at that time that the Lord showed me that this is a big need, not just a tornado need. These people don't have enough food. There's a lot of elderly in our community, a lot of disabled, a lot of people who have children whose parents are in prison. They don't have enough to cover it all. It just opened our eyes to see, and I'm just so grateful that we were able to see, because it was there all the time. We were just driving around it and not realizing that it was there.
Every week, volunteers and corporate sponsors from across the Metroplex provide quality food, clothing, and guidance for those in our community in need of help. They leave the Hope Center with enough food for a week and a newfound hope that comes from knowing that people care. In 2009, the Hope Center provided a helping hand to over 81,000 people. 36,000 of them were children. Despite these drastic numbers, there remains a far greater need at hand.
The biggest need that people in poverty have is significance. They don't feel important to anybody. Around 90% of our volunteers or our clients, they have something to give. And because they have something to give, they become significant. They're part of us. They've owned this organization. We are the Hope Center. We're part of this community, and they are part of us, and we're now reaching into the community.
I'd say this: if you're part of corporate America and you're looking for a place to plug in and put your funds to great use, you couldn't find a better place than what we're doing, because we not only provide the groceries for the people, we provide educational opportunities for them as well as their children. So in building, a donation to us will accomplish all those things for you.
Fight hunger and feed hope. That's our motto.
Contact the Hope Center today and find out how volunteering your time, financial support, or corporate resources can change lives and bring hope to the people and the families in our community.